Hello, I don't know why, but it's always trying to rain when I'm going to make another video, but I hope it won't spoil this cut. And today I'm going to tell you about the FiiO's newly released and newly announced portable digital to analog converter Q3. Actually, the idea of Q3 as a device is not new. If I remember right, FiiO wanted to release it somewhere in 2017 or so. It had different design prototypes. It was going to look something like Oppo portable digital to analog converters, but then that idea was postponed. FiiO released Q5 and so on. But recently they returned to that idea and actually reanimated with new possibilities, new features that they developed in recent years. And actually it appeared to be a really interesting device. Its price is about $150 or $140, but it's built using AK4462, relatively new Asahi Kasei digital to analog converter chip. It uses XMOS as a USB converter, so that means that it supports all resolutions up to highest ones. DSD 512, 768 kHz, 32 bits. I'm not sure actually, are there some files in these resolutions, but anyway, it supports them. And of course, the most interesting probably for everyone is that THX amplification, so the same technology that is used in the much more expensive FiiO M11 Pro. So, besides that, it's also actually a pretty cute device. Speaking about the technical specifications, work time is about 9 hours from single-ended output and about 8 hours from balanced output, so nice figures. And power is 150 milliwatts or so. I don't remember exact figures, you can check them out on the official site, I will add links to the description. About 150 milliwatts for 32 ohms load from single-ended output and about more than 300 milliwatts from the balanced out. As you can see by this image, it has both 2.5mm and Pentacon. But enough talks, let's proceed to the device itself. Package is FiiO's black cardboard with scratch to check is it or the original device or not, so we've seen that a few times before. And inside one can get digital to analog converter itself, and let's dig deeper for the accessories. A bit of nostalgia. For quite a long time FiiO didn't release portable digital to analog converters. In past years it was their main product, if you remember, E7, E07 and so on. So USB-C cable that can be used for charging and to connect it, storage pouch, and inside additional accessories. This silicone spacer, you can see it gather some dirt from this pouch. Silicone spacer if you want to use it with some smartphone or something like that. Few rubber bands to create this audiophilic sandwich. Short lightning cable, so it supports iPhones and iPads with lightning connector. Straight cable to use it as an amplifier, and angled USB-C to USB-C to use it with modern smartphones. So let's clean it up a little bit. So all that pouches leave some dirt. It's the same as Campfire audio. And you can see it's absolutely tiny and it's cute and it's stylish. It's the tiniest and cutest digital to analog converter I've seen. Actually, of course, there are smaller dongle-like adapters, but this one, like, it's just small and cute. I really like it. It's flat, it's really good to use with some smartphone or player, so it won't occupy much space, so it makes it pocketable even with some source. On the back side there is a bass boost switch and charge switch, so you can use it safely with your smartphone without draining the battery. And universal button, so let's turn it on. I'm not sure is it visible on video, but there is a green LED. Pressing it on and off changes gain, and double clicking changes the filters, sharp and slow roll of filters. And on the front panel there are 3 outputs. Also this one can be used as a digital in if you would like, and 2 balanced outputs, Pentagon and 2.5mm, and volume knob. Also it used as a on and off switch, nice good clicks, really quiet when you rotate it, because as usual FiiO uses hybrid volume control, so it means that there is a potentiometer inside, but its resistance of this potentiometer is read by analog to digital converter, and then it's used to change the volume in the digital domain. And LED indicator, as usual, it changes color based on the signal's resolution. High-res sticker, and I don't know what is it for, but let's peel it off. Okay, we'll do it later, it's glued well. So you can take out this certification sticker. Need to wipe it, so looks nice. So THX AA28 as an amplifier. Anyway, let's go back. Good accessory set, really stylish design, so I really like it. It's definitely nice and looks really well. So I created small wannabe setup. I'm using FiiO M15 as a transport, but of course more logical to use this digital to analog converter with some affordable player as a transport, like FiiO M5 or M6, or you can use it with your smartphone or tablet or something like that. I'm using M15 because first my smartphone is busy filming this video, and second because it has part of my media library loaded. So I'm not using M15 because it's better as a transport, it's just for illustration purposes. And also for illustration purposes I will use a really interesting in-ear monitors. It's a small batch manufacturer from St. Petersburg. It's pure audio dope. It's really interesting in-ear planar magnetic in-ear monitors that were created to give you the maximum neutrality, most flat frequency response, lowest harmonic distortions and maximum resolution. Of course, they will be a subject of one of future reviews because it's a really interesting model. But meanwhile, today we are speaking about the FiiO Q3, and it's a really good device, you know. Actually it's the way to achieve sound that is close in terms of level. I don't like these levels because they are really subjective, but it sounds that is really close to M9 but with different signature, and you know, it's definitely sounding like FiiO's M11 Pro younger brother or smaller brother or like child. So it's signature that is close to M11 Pro but with a bit less resolution, you know. AK4462 is a good digital to analog converter, but 4497 that is used in the M11 Pro, if I'm not mistaken, hard to remember everything, is definitely better and more resolving. But anyway, this one is pretty neutral with good resolution, really technical, and with a bit of added weight. So I'm not sure which part is because of digital to analog converter, which is because of amplifier. I don't know, and I don't think it's really important. So Let's go step by step. Low frequencies are natural, monitoring, pretty linear, without any attempts to give additional weight or, you know, to make them super fast and dry, and to give that sense of super resolving low frequencies. No, it's fairly balanced with a bit, some tiny bit of additional weight, but a small, really small coloration, and there is no additional bass in terms of frequency response. It's not the bass head model or model to add additional low frequencies, but of course you can switch bass boost and you will get additional deeper bass, because FiiO does really polite sub boost. They never doing that huge overwhelming low frequencies. They just adding few decibels on the deepest layers of bass, and it's enough to give them more sense of presence and to give more tightness. And actually with these in-ear monitors it's a good option, because they are really natural and technical, and boosting the bass will give a good result here. It has pretty good overtone saturation on the low frequencies, not superb, but you will get this sense of rich low frequencies, acoustic instruments sounding pretty realistic, not 100%, but really good. And it's good if you like natural instruments. For the electronic music, of course, it could be used too with synthesized low frequencies, but in that case you will need something, some in-ear monitors with, or headphones with boosted low frequencies. And as an example, I've got Wardruna UruR, or how it should be pronounced actually. Nice, great modern twist on the traditional Scandinavian folk. So there is a lot of roar and a lot of low frequency rumbles in this band's music, and this digital tonal converter represents it really nicely. But of course it's a matter of headphones that you will use with it, what you will get, because it's not trying to highlight anything. Mids are pretty natural, also balancing with between the micro and macro, between the weight and resolution, somewhere in between. It's not trying to be super resolving, and at the same time it's not trying to be like warmer, weightier or something like that. So it's just a fairly balanced device, and you basically need to adjust it with your in-ear monitors to get the sound that you'd like. Nice weight when it's present, but because it's not adding additional weight, it means that it should be present in record, but at the same time it's not going too nitpicking, not going too clinical or analytical, so it requires a good records, but it won't throw the tiniest issues with records right into your face or something like that. Nice body of instruments, good vocal, and imaginary stage above average. Not huge, but above average, so good results that you will probably want to achieve. And as an example, actually I missed the playlist, so as a mids example I've got one of my most favorite tracks by the Beatles. It's Eleanor Rigby. I really like these violins, I like vocal, and thanks to technical and resolving sound of this digital tonal converter, it's sounding nice, natural and realistic. And treble has a good extension, above average, not super extended up to infinity, but extension is good. Control is also good. Maybe a bit of additional layering would be nice, but here layering is really basic. But for this price tier, it's probably the okay result. It's not trying to highlight the treble, not trying to hide it, so no attempts to color it. In some way, nice, fairly balanced, good treble. Of course, more rich layering and better overtone saturation would be nice, but it's probably a matter of higher price segments and maybe some coloration. And as an example of the treble, I've got Hiromi Uehara, Warrior. Sorry. Great jazz fortepiano, but really done in rock style with good accompaniment and sounding fairly realistic, and this tiny device managed to represent it really well. And to summarize everything, natural but not monitoring sound, actually not dry monitoring, natural a bit on the monitoring side but not dry, with additional weight when it's necessary. And so it's not the model for those who like boosted bass or some warm coloration, some bright coloration or something like that. No, it's model for those who want to give the technical sound and who want to adjust it with the load. And in terms of pairing, they are pretty universal. Background noise is really low, so I tried with Solaris and actually result is good. Actually it has a pretty high output impedance on the balanced out, it's 3 ohms of impedance, but I didn't get any issues with Solaris, so even low impedance models are playing pretty okay with it. And from another hand, it's driving even planar headphones, maybe not the toughest ones, but average models like, I don't know, Sandara for example, it drives well. Actually drives well also Mesa Empyrean, not in terms of resolution, because of course they require more technical source, but in terms of power it's more or less okay. And actually drive pure audio dopes, they also require good driving power. Speaking about the comparisons, unfortunately I don't have the closest competitor, iFi Hip DAC. I didn't test it, so I can't say anything about the comparisons. But in terms of, let's say, level, it's somewhere at level of Lotu Po S1, but with additional power, because it has its own internal battery, so with full-size headphones probably it could be a bit more stable in terms of driving power. And it's a really decent way to achieve the sound if you of more expensive players, if you need that, so just add your smartphone or something like that. And I don't know, there is not much sense in comparing it with different dongles, because internal battery and more driving power set it a bit aside from them. So BTR5 probably is also good on with in-ear monitors, but with more tough to drive models, Q3 is a better choice. So if you need to drive, if you need something small and affordable to drive full-size headphones, Q3 is a really good offer by FiiO. So thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.